group of people,
the ACF,
are opposition. We have tackled them, we battled them under Buhari, late President Muhammadu Buhari, and we will still do it this time. They are not for the North. And that's what I want to make clear.
The elders, these are elders of the North.
They are not. We had only 6 years of elders in the North, and those are the likes of Sardauna. They are not our elders.
Bashir Dala too?
They are not speaking for the North.
The Arawa Consultative Forum?
Yes. And I'll take you through and I'll give you reasons why. Infrastructure is not the problem of the North. We don't need infrastructure from the federal government in the North. What we need in the northern Nigeria is unity, and they know it. Unite us. An Idoma man cannot be governor of Benue State. A Muslim in Plateau State cannot be speaker in the state assembly. A Christian minority in Borno State cannot be a governor. You are from Kwara and a Christian. Can you be a governor of Kwara State? These are our problems. Religion and tribe. Let there be one religion, one tribe, and that should be the northern Nigeria. Let them unite us. The federal government will come asking us to give them. We have 424 local governments, every of which have economic potentials to tap into it. We have vast lands. We own the land in Nigeria. Fertile, travel from here to Borno and see. Level down. When you're coming back, traveling from outside, see how Borno is. That's when you start descending. See the lands in the northern Nigeria. But people cannot go to farm because Christians are killing Muslims, Muslims are killing Christians. I don't want this Christian to be this, I don't want this Muslim.
Hassan, a chieftain of the All Progressives Congress, talking about what he perceives to be the problem. He says, look, the problem of the North is not about infrastructure, but about unity. Who is a Northerner? Oh, well, good evening and thanks for joining us on Political Lens. I am Chukwuma Okoro. We are broadcasting on Metro SL TV channel 264. On YouTube, we are Voice of the People Television, and on other social media platforms, we are at VOP TV Live. You can join the conversation by calling in or sending WhatsApp messages to the number scrolling on your screen. Well, feel free to ask the guests constructive questions if you have any, and I assure you that your voice will be heard. We are joined in the studio today by Barrister Asim Adam. He is a lawyer and a political affairs analyst. He was the spokesperson Beatrice Itubo / Peter Obi campaign organization in Rivers State in the 2023 general elections. Good evening, Barrister Adams. It's always exciting to have you on the show.
It's a pleasure.
Intellectually engaging, I must confess.
It's a wonderful program.
Thank you very much.
Yes,
I appreciate your presence.
Yes, thank you very much for inviting me.
Now, let's kick into it. On the show today, more troubles for ADC, African Democratic Congress, as the Independent National Electoral Commission, Inec. State chairman of the ADC refused to recognize the David Mark-led interim executive, where the African Democratic Congress, ADC, is currently engulfed in a fresh leadership crisis as the Independent National Electoral Commission, that is INEC, has refused to recognize the party's newly constituted caretaker committee. To compound their problem, state chairman of the party equally denounced the David Mark-led group as an illegitimate coalition attempting to hijack the party through unconstitutional and undemocratic means. Well, these fissions are coming despite official affirmation by the National Executive Committee of the party of a new leadership structure. The INEC has maintained that the party's old National Executive Committee remains in place, casting doubt on its recognition of the David Mark-led caretaker committee. Is yet to uphold, INEC I'm talking about, is yet to uphold Senator David Mark and his interim team to its official portal, signaling non-recognition of the leadership change. At the moment, INEC's portal still shows that the ADC's national officers are still listed as Ralph Okenwosu, National Chairman, Said Baba Abdullahi, National Secretary, Mr. Kevin Alagoa, National Treasurer, Mrs. Ifeima Ntima, National Financial Secretary, and Ujungwa L. Onwasweze, National Legal Advisor. Recall that the ADC had unveiled a new interim leadership in Abuja in July 2025, following the resignation of Ralph Okenwosu and members of his executive committee, and announced a caretaker committee led by former Senate President David Mark as chairman, former Osun State Governor Rauf Areboshola as National Secretary and Bolaji Abdullahi as the Interim National Public Secretary. Curiously, at its 99th Inec meeting, witnessed by Inec officials, the same Inec that has refused to recognize the leadership, the party adopted two key motions. One was moved by the Southwest Zonal Vice Chairman Idowu Rasak, which ratified the reinstatement of the previously suspended members, except for Ibe Kachuku. Another one by the National Organizing Secretary Suleiman Ibrahim, that called for the immediate dissolution of the existing National Working Committee, NWC, and the establishment of a caretaker committee headed by David Mark. The new structure also appointed 6 deputy national chairmen from various geopolitical zones. The David Mark-led interim leadership, alongside other members of the NWC, recently met with all 37 chairmen of the party, including that of the FCT. So it is curious that these same 37 chairmen are the ones saying, look, David Mark and co want to hijack the party. Well, they met in Abuja to affirm the new leadership. That was weeks ago. The meeting also sought to consolidate support for the party's coalition building efforts and recognition. As at that time, while responding to inquiries by the media, the chief press secretary to the Inec chairman, Rotimi Lawrence, stated simply, the old ESCO is still in charge. Meanwhile, state chairman of the party yesterday issued a strong condemnation of the coalition led by former Senate President David Mark in a statement jointly signed by the forum leader Elias Adoku and the public secretary Godwin Alaku, entitled Rejecting the Political Junta by Defending ADC and Nigeria's Democracy Against Subversion. The chairman described the development as a blatant and reckless subversion of the party and Nigeria's democratic principles. They added that the attempted takeover was an insult to all those who believe in and have labored for democratic governance in Nigeria. While the chairman further accused the coalition of seeking to destabilize the party for personal gain, describing its actions as driven by selfish ambition and extra-party inducements that could fracture the democratic process. While reacting to the development, founding chairman of All Progressive Grand Alliance, Chekwaso Kore, dismissed claims that INEC aided under external influence. He explained that although Mosu and the new officers had entered into a memorandum of understanding, the agreement had yet to be formalized through a national convention. Welcome again, Barrister Asemada. You heard it all. Now, before we get into all of this, let's take a few questions about the footage that we watched. Let's start from the footage we watched at the beginning of the show. Is the northern middle class beginning to challenge the status quo that has held them down for a long time? You know what the ACF, the Arewa Consultative Forum, you know what it represents for the North. Now we have Arwan Hassan, a young man, chieftain of the APC, saying, no, that is not the leadership of the North. The only time we had leaders in the North was during the 6 years of Tafawa Balewa and Ahmadu Bello. Beyond then, every other person has been self-serving. He talked about the disunity in the North. Can this person become, in Borno State, can you become a governor if you are not Muslim? In Kwara State, can you become a governor if you are not Muslim? In Plateau State, can you become governor if you are not Christian? And all of that. Barrister, does it look like the middle class in the North is trying to change the system? What do you see in all of this?
Yeah, thank you very much. Yes, my opinion is that the middle class in the North wants to change the narrative, or what they say, there's a paradigm shift in the politics equation in northern part of Nigeria. You know, a certain Malam Aminu Kano was a representative of the Talakawas, who challenged the Behemothian, figures like Ahmadu Bello, Tafawa Balewa, J. Taka, and the rest of them. He felt that these were bourgeois and elites who were operating like colossuses, in that particular political firmament. And he set up, the Talakawa movement, which later turned to the People Redemption Party in 1979, during the Shagari era, or we call the Second Republic or so. And he had a very strong movement, wherein you find out that people like Balarabe Musa, Abubakar Rimi, were all his proteges, and they were all under him, as the case may be. So it's been there, but he never found his voice, as he wanted it to, be. Now, when you look at how things have gone in the North, in those days, or let's say in the 60s, 70s, you used to have one united North.
Okay.
We never knew that people from Plateau State were not called Northerners.
Okay.
We never knew that people from Kwara, Kogi, Niger State were not called Northerners. Kaduna State also, we never knew. But politics in over time showed that they were voices of dissent who were against the oligarchs, who felt that these other people were oppressors. And they wanted to raise up their voices, and you begin to see, things of that nature. People, uprisings started coming up. I remember in Plateau State, for instance, it was a peaceful, conurbation environment. The polity there was so peaceful. Social life there was so very peaceful also. But something somewhere in the early mid-80s or maybe mid-90s, when this agitation that no, we are not Northerners, and we are tired of following, those people who have led us by the nose. And you saw what happened when the Kaduna and the Plateau State just riots started between the so-called indigenes and those who were fighting against those who were oppressing them. Okay. In Kaduna State, the same. Kaduna used to be a unity, location. We used to say in those days that there's what we call Kaduna Mafia. Okay. And there was this saying that every businessman, every billionaire from the north, whether from Benue now or from Kwara, anywhere, saw Kaduna as his place, as their city.
It was more like a hub.
It was, you understand? Okay. Then you now saw that most generals from the north who retired, they retired to Kaduna, not to Kanu, not to Sokoto, but they see Kaduna as their hub and their base. But it's not like that right now. Okay, yes. Because I like that. Let's fast forward to this moment. Yes. So to this moment right now, what the young man has said, for me, somewhat I agree with him. Okay. That the North has not really had, a leader or leaders with leadership qualities of the Ahmadu Bellos of this world and the Tafawa Balewas of this world. You see, a lot of people must have to understand. Why I say I agree with him is this. Let me tell you this. You know that Ahmadu Bello was the chairman of Northern People's Congress in the 60s. Yes. That entered into, I think is it a coalition or whatever? Alliance with NCNC. That produced, him. And in that parliamentary system of government that they were operating, the party that has the majority in parliament will produce the prime minister. Okay. And production of the prime minister has to come from, the party chairman or leader of the party automatically becomes the prime minister, as the case may be. Yes. But Ahmadu Bello, being a leader, a charismatic leader, who was the leader of the MPCs at that time, decided to say, no, I believe in the Northern coalition, development, etc. I want to remain. So let me send this gen of MPC, who is Tafawa Balewa. He recommended him and said, I delegate to go and represent and become the prime minister. Okay. That was how Tafawa Balewa became prime minister.
I'll Hassan, the young man.
Yes.
Look, the only time we had leaders.
It's true.
Was when we had Tafawa Balewa.
Absolutely, yes. I agree with him.
Now, like I said, let's fast forward. Now, AECF, the Arewa Consultative Forum, is saying like Tinubu has ignored the North. And some elements in the North are saying, no, this is not true. They are saying this is not true. And what we see is a situation where they are saying, look, you are the problem. Now, the question will be, does it look like Tinubu has divided the North with his strategies? Or is it, I keep going back to, is it a new awakening about what the North has become? And what does that portend for the politics of the future?
The ACF has been vociferous, even not just because the Tinubu administration, even during the Obasanjo time. They were of the opinion that the northern part of Nigeria was marginalized, even during Obasanjo's time. They only come up with this narrative whenever a Southern president, is, at the seat of power in Abuja. They always feel uncomfortable. Under Obasanjo, they came up with the same argument that the North has been marginalized. You had the Northern Consultative Forum, you have the Arewa, Elders Forum, you have the Northern, another group. There were so many groups like that came up during Obasanjo time to say that Obasanjo at that time was marginalizing the northern part of Nigeria. And there was the argument. The Jonathan administration, the same narrative came up. They didn't complain when Yar'Adua was in power. We didn't see their ugly head. We never saw their voice. But when Jonathan came on board, the same narrative came. When Buhari did his 8 years, quite recently we were all aware of, the cataclysmic, nature the man ruled the country. The Arewa Council never came up to say that the North was being marginalized. As at that time, you found that the key appointments, juicy appointments in the federal, ministerial, whatever portfolio, were given to them. Were, just given to them by a wave of the hand. By the fact that the president had to undermine Section 14 sub 3, that federal character. We saw that appointments were skewed. The Arewa, whatever as they call it, never complained. They never raised their voices. Now, Tinubu has come into, power and government right now. Just spending 2 years, go to 3 years, they have come up again with this kind of narrative. So it's something that I feel that they are playing politics with it, and they are not being truthful to themselves.
Okay, so I like the fact that we have come to this point. Yes. If they are playing politics with it, and we see Northerners say, no, Arewa Consultative Forum, you are the problem,
yes.
Not Tinubu. Does it look like, the president has made an incursion, into the powers that be in the North to say, for people now to boldly say, no, ACF, you are the problem, and not Tinubu?
Absolutely. The man has played his politics and has stood his ground. That is, I'm talking about Tinubu right now. Exactly. The kind of politics that he has played has shown that, look, as it is right now, it's like, hey, I don't give a damn, to what is happening in the northern part of it. And there are those who are supporting him from the North who feel that, yes, for political reasons, we have to support him because it's our own time now for us to gain, because those old, whatever, have been in power and they have gained a lot. So the youths are now coming and saying, let us take power at least to see if we can, juice up ourselves and see how we can move ahead. So that's why you see young people like this coming up, as the case may be. So Tinubu has dealt a blow, in my own opinion, to the northern hegemony and arrangement, as the case may be. Now, if you look at it now, you find that all the time that Buhari was in power, the only northern, person that was visible, was the Zakizaki, whatever, on religious fronts. On economic front, political front, these associations were all gone. The Northern Country Forum, Arewa, whatever as case may be, Northern Elders Forum, they were all frozen. They were inactive, like Mount Vesivus in Italy. So, and they are now becoming, active again because they find that a Southern has come in. The question the young man asks is this is not your problem. And I agree with him. That even if you give power, Buhari was there for 8 years. What did he achieve?
He said, pointedly, he said, infrastructure is not our problem.
That's right.
Our problem is unity.
Yes.
Let me read a comment from an ex-user, questioning Tinubu's alleged favoritism of the Southwest and abandoning the North.
Yes.
Now, the guy says, what infrastructure has Tinubu government bequeathed to the Southwest that warrants this allegation by the ACF? Lagos Abeokuta is deplorable. Ijibode to Ibadan road is very bad. Ibadan Oyo Obomosho is a death trap. Ibadan Ife Ilesha Akure are impassable. So where is nepotism? Barrister, is this the way of our leaders? Obasanjo was accused of abandoning roads in the Southwest, between Sango, Ota, and Abeokuta. For the years that Obasanjo was president, it was deplorable. Jonathan was there for 6 years. He couldn't fix East-West Road.
That's right.
Where you come from? So, is this the way of our leaders? Is there an explanation for that? Rather, Jonathan was busy building fantastic roads, building Almajiri schools in the North.
In the northern part.
At the end of the day. Now, the North is saying, Tinubu has abandoned us. And Southwest is saying, abandon you. What has he done for the Southwest? Look at the roads that he listed out. So what is it? What's the problem? Is it the will of our leaders trying to please others and displease themselves, sacrificing performance on the altar of politics? What is it all about?
The problem is that we have underperforming and underwhelming leaders who do not even know where they come from. Politically speaking, they only know the path to victory to get to Aso Rock, but they don't really know the reason why they are there. That is just the problem we have in Nigeria. We have very selfish leaders. Like that particular, user said, even from the southwest, where the present president is from, the roads are deplorable. You understand? I even heard that incursions by these bandits is not right in the southwest where the president is even from, as case may be. There's hunger in the land. Hunger does not have or no Hausa or Yoruba, as case may be. There's hunger in the southwest. There's hunger in the northwest. There's hunger in the southeast, as case may be. Now look at which major project for 2 years, which major project has the government of Tinubu embarked on in, let me even say, in the southern part of Nigeria, before I even narrow it down to the southwest where he comes from.
Okay, the Lagos.
It's just the coastal road. And the coastal road has just begun about 30 kilometers. I don't know how they've gone. It has never gone halfway, as the case may be. But even as at that time, I compare this particular time to the time of Buhari. A particular minister did a map and said he wants to do a railroad from here to Maradi in Niger Republic, encompassing all, if not all, the northern states, but at least 60% to 70% of the northern states. That particular rail track traversed these areas of some of the northern states. Why did they not come? That's my annoyance. You understand? We have leaders also who are helpless, and they cannot even do anything for their own people. Talk less of talking about other parts of the country. So I don't know where that marginalization that the North is talking about is coming from. In my own opinion, I don't know where it is coming from. I think it is misplaced, aggression. Okay. In my own opinion, because it is not all about what the federal government gives you, but how you manage your resources and how you manage your affairs. That is the most important thing that they have neglected. Okay. The question we have asked is this: why is it that the governors of the 19 northern states in Nigeria today, they have abandoned agriculture? I know that in the 50s, we were independent, 60s, even in the early 70s, a lot of Southerners were living here to places like Kano, Sokoto, to go and begin to look for jobs, because you had this granite pyramid, you had farms that were being made by the states, the regions at that time. Where have those things gone? But before that, once they elect a governor, he does not talk about agriculture. He will just sit down there and begin to look at the oil that comes from the south. Every month he looks at the allocation that is going to come to him and VAT that will come. All these things are coming from the south. So the governors of the northern region are lazy. I'm using the word open and close. They don't think out of the box. That is why you see there's this pressure.
The governors are in the south? Are they any different?
No, we are periscoping the north, for instance, okay. Now. That is the reason why I concentrate on those areas now. Okay. Because they have not even gone into, agriculture, mining, etc. You have a bauxite, you have gold, you have bronze, or whatever you call it, all over the northern part of Nigeria. Why have they not come together as a collective, to go into, mining of all these things for their collective use? But they don't want to do that. All they watch out for is what are the allocations for us this month from VAT, okay. From the oil that we sell from the south, etc. as the case may be. Okay. So that is the problem we're having.
Barrister, let's try to move away a bit from the north. Now, the national leader of the All Progressives Congress, APC, the Integrity Movement, Sadiq Fakai, yesterday resigned his membership of the APC. He's not the first person. The other time, we saw Hakeem Baba Ahmed resign his appointment as a political advisor to the president. The other time, we saw Yusuf Abdullahi, who had one of the president's spokespersons, resign his appointment and membership of the APC and said, look, I'm going to work against the president in 2027. Does it point to a dwindling fortune of the APC? All of these resignations coming from the north, does it look like how much of that is going to affect the electoral fortunes of the president in the north? Well, we are talking about the north now. So there's more like a clap back, push back, like a tug of war. People are going in, people are coming out. everything centered about the North. Does it look like the South is already conquered by the president? What do you think?
The South is not conquered. It's just that the northern part of Nigeria is just being in this particular turmoil and boil because they just feel that we have to be relevant in the scheme of things.
Is it that they feel or that they are relevant?
They feel that is just
Are they not relevant?
They are relevant. So politically, by political equation, yes, by calculation, with or without, I think they are relevant because that is where you can doctor numbers and figures, as the case may be. If you want a relevance in terms of calculations in millions, and we don't verify whether it is true or not. That is why you see Kano, they will keep banding it that Kano has more population than Lagos, as the case may be. Kano has 44 local governments, or 46 or thereabout, out of 774. But a state, a state like Lagos, has how many? And with population of about 30 million people.
Alwan Hassan said something. He said the North has more than 400 local governments.
That's right, out of 774. So that will tell you how it is. That is the politics they are playing. So anybody that wants to win the presidency must have to channel his whatever efforts to the northern part of Nigeria. Because you can easily concord figures from the north.
Nobody questions
it. I have studied the trajectory of our elections. Now, even if you conquer the whole of the southern part of Nigeria and you are not able to conquer the north, you might not get the presidency, as the case may be. And to make it very difficult now, even as it is, Abuja has now added to is now a northern territory, whether we like it or not.
When we say that nobody questions it, Gosde Orubebe tried to question it in 2015, and the president couldn't even support him. President Goodluck Jonathan.
Well, he has made this.
Okay, so do we display some kind of sense of surrender? Southerners, do they display some kind of sense of surrender against the pushback from the north?
The problem we have is that the southern part of Nigeria, we are not that politically sophisticated, like the northerners or the northern part of Nigeria. Let me give for an example. If you go around Lagos State or any part of Nigeria where you have the Hausas or Abokis, as we call them, they always have their transistor radio by their ears. You understand? And every evening, just as we are airing this program today now, I found that all my Abokis in my estate, they listen to that Hausa BBC News by 7 p.m. They gather around the radio after their prayers. They want to know what is happening. They get their information from there, so they want to know exactly what's going on. But we from the south, the southern man does not even care. Even if you say it's in the office, what he will do, he begin to move around and do some other things that does not even talk about politics. So the northern part of Nigeria, they are more politically sophisticated than us. That is why I feel that they always know more about, and they always want power by all means, because that is the engineering that they got from birth.
Okay, I'd like for you to go back to how those resignations will affect the electoral fortunes of the APC before we move into the ADC and its programs.
I don't think, to be very honest, what are the names? Are they Titans? Who are they? I can't even remember. You even mentioned the two names, and I don't know them. With due respect to their personalities and persona, I don't know them. So if I don't know them right now, I don't know the political, weight that I can attach to their, them as persons or, party members. Talk less of, whether they can affect, an election even in their ward or local government in their state. I don't know. So what I'm trying to say is that the political gains to be gotten from those two people, for me, is featherweight. It's featherweight because they are not. The question, let me even put this in very succinct. You see, what I have seen is this: who has been the heavyweight in the northern part of Nigeria today, apart from El-Rufai, that has come out to say, or is in a political party, or maybe it's a governor of a state, or it's an opinion molder in the state that is well known, that has said it's against Tinubu in this 2027. Atiku Abubakar has been there.
Okay,
he's a perennial.
Hakim Baba.
That's what I'm saying. Hakim Baba. Hakim Baba. What political value does he have?
What about Baba Galadima?
Baba, that is what political value do they have? These are political prostitutes. Baba Galadima. Kwankwaso, we know him as a perennial ambulatory politician. You understand the point? If he gets what he wants, I forget all those things. He doesn't even believe in all this. See, you can see he's parabolating between Aso Rock and other foreigners of ADC. He holds this meeting with Atiku today. He goes to Tinubu again the following day. The next time he comes to Atiku Abubakar. So he does not even know where he's looking at. The only thing he's looking at is just his Kano votes, as the case may be. He's using that as a bargaining chip to see who can come to him and do his bidding. That is what he's doing. So,
okay,
exactly what I'm talking about.
From your premise now, if
Yes.
you look at the North, who do you expect that if he comes out from the North to say, look, Tinubu, what you're doing?
Senator Shehu Sani?
Shehu Sani that couldn't even retain
he has a voice.
Senate seat.
He has a voice. He might not retain, but he has a voice.
What kind of voice? Social media voice?
He has social media voice. He has real media voice. He has also the followership in the North. He might not have won it. He was pinned out. He will complain.
Okay, so you think
and that's number one.
Between Atiku Abubakar
Yes.
and Shehu Sani,
Yes.
who will Northerners listen to?
For me, Atiku Abubakar has that clout in the Taraba axis, the old Gongola, old Gongola, whatever the case may be. In Kaduna State, where Shehu Sani is from, Atiku cannot even win that place. I'm telling you the truth.
How about Aminu Tambuwa?
Tambuwa cannot win Kaduna. That is, I'm talking about Kaduna Katsina.
Okay.
So we might be talking about El-Rufai, having those areas.
Okay.
Even as it is, if you go through the history and find, even last election, the present governor defeated the PDP candidate, whom even Shehu Sani and the rest supported, was about 500 votes or 1,000 votes.
If you go to Borno State, you have somebody like Ali Modu Sharif. He's clearly not on the side of the president.
That is not there. What weight will you attach to it when the Shetima is there, the vice president?
The Shetima is gradually losing ground.
No, he's not losing ground. Zulum is there. Even yesterday, the other people. The only area the Tinubu whatever will have a problem or a slight issue is if they drop him.
Okay.
As not being the running mate to him in 2027 election.
And you think they won't drop him?
I can't do that. I can't hazard a guess.
Okay,
but if he remains there, the Borno State is for him. Okay. Zulum is there. Okay. You understand? So these are things we have to put into perspective.
All right, Barrister, let's move on. Inec has failed to recognize David Mark-led interim national executive of the ADC, despite having observed the party's NEC meeting where two motions were raised to accept Ralph Mosu's resignation as party chair and the constitution of a caretaker committee headed by David Mark. Barrister, what's going on here? Do you suspect any foul play? They called a NEC meeting. INEC went, observed. Yes. Motions were raised that accepted Ralph Mosu's resignation and the constitution of a caretaker committee headed by David Mark. Yet, INEC has come out to say that look, the old executive is still in place. So what does that mean?
Did INEC show anybody the report? When you go to observe, you make your report. When international observers come to monitor elections, at the end of the election, they give their report, isn't it also, to their own people. So what was the report the observer, gave? And two, the courts have even said, I think the Court of Appeal or Supreme Court has said that because you did a Congress and an INEC comes in there to observe. You understand the point now? It does not mean that particular Congress is valid. They now differentiated that when they talk about the commission they're talking about is for its headquarters of INEC. So if, for instance, maybe ADC is having their whatever together in one place, and a rep or a rep from Lagos, whatever, goes there to observe. Okay. It's not enough. You understand? So they say if you follow the Electoral Act, the commission has three bodies. It's like the Trinity. You understand the point now? States, national, etc. Those are the two. So if he does not get the premature from the headquarters and he goes there to sit down and wear his tag as INEC, it's like nothing has happened.
What if it is the headquarters that
now, if it is the headquarters are sent, it may be duly represented, as the case may be. What happened? What was the report? That's number one. What was the report the observer gave to his parent body or to the organ that sent him there? Two is that INEC, is a body that may have received, some sentences of judgments. For instance, let me give it very clearly to you. Are you aware? Many people don't know that Ralph Ewosu, there are two judgments that has not been obeyed, and he has not appealed it. And those two judgments that said Dumebi Katuku is peddling are judgments that were given by two courts from two different jurisdictions, saying that Raf or whatever Wosu, had, his tenure has elapsed. You understand?
I'm sorry to
have they appealed it?
Yes. Moment. Well, I understand that the latest court judgment says that the status quo should remain, which is that Ralph Wosu is still the substantive chairman of the party. Now, Ralph Wosu has resigned. When a party chairman resigns, does it take a convention to re-elect his replacement?
Yes.
Or to get a new executive?
It does. If you allow me.
Okay.
If you go to see.
Why I ask this? I'm sorry.
Yes,
why I ask this question?
Yes.
Ganduje resigned.
Yes.
And he took an Inec meeting of the APC at the presidential villa to elect Iwata as the replacement. What is the difference? Why would they expect a convention, a national convention
from the other party? Has anybody challenged that of Ganduje? So you see, if I don't challenge a status quo, it remains the way it is. But the moment I challenge a status quo and say no, it shouldn't be like this, then there will be need for people to profile and look into that particular whatever. And that is what is happening in the ADC now. In the APC's case, for instance, in Rivers APC, are you aware you have two factions in Rivers State APC? One is Okocha, one is the other Emeka Beke. You understand the point now? Now, which whatever brought the Okocha's faction? Is it not Ganduje's when he was acting chairman that he now said these are the people that are the true whatever the case may be? People have not challenged it in court. But in this case, we are saying that they have challenged it. And the judgments, the two judgments that Dumebi Kachuku is peddling.
No, but I'm sorry, what have they challenged?
The ADC? They are saying what Dumebi is saying. And that is the plank, and if you allow me, that is the plank on which other litigations are now coming. Dumebi said you have two particular judgments of court are standing. No appeal against it is still current. You understand? And what are those two what did those two federal high court judgments said? That Wosu ordinarily was not even the chairman of ADC, because those judgments said his tenure expired or elapsed as at the time he was acting or being in on that particular seat. That has been the problem before the Matiko came into to hijack it. So that particular whatever has not been taken. Ralph Wosu is even aware that this judgment is there. The second one is this. By the time Ralph Wosu came and met and he resigned, that same day was his time, David Mark resigned from PDP, and they now came together and interim whatever was now formed. So you have this confusion here. Now let's go to the constitution of the ADC. Two key areas I want to look at, I want to periscope in that ADC constitution is, Article 23 that talks about if there is vacancy. And that is on that plank now, these 5 suits are challenging what Ralph Wosu did, or what they call the man there. That is, if I just kind of, pick them out. Article 23, clause 4 of their constitution says, if a vacancy arises in any party office, the appropriate executive committee shall appoint a replacement from the same zone or constituency as the outgoing office holder. That is one plank this part holding. Now that assuming Ralph Wosu resigned, as the case may be, he had no problem with his resignation, as the case may be. As he left, that another person that would have replaced him is somebody from his constituency or from his state. David Mark is not from Southeast. So the person that would have replaced, Wosu is a man from, the South to complete his tenure. You understand?
It would have been different
if
his tenure elapsed.
So you see the point now. That is what they are dragging now. The Taregbe Shola, who is the position, I think is
Interim National
Secretary. Also the secretary that was there is from the northern part of Nigeria. Taregbe Shola is from the southwest. And this Article 23 clause 4 of their constitution says that once the man leaves the place, who is going to finish his tenure is somebody from that same particular area. That is number one. Then number 2, you now go to this Article 17 of the same political party, the ADC now, 17(1) and A of their constitution. Now, the party shall hold that is all national and state officers of the party shall hold office for a period of 4 years at the first instance, and thereafter another 4 years. So you have a maximum of 4. You understand? I mean, a maximum of 8. I mean, yes. 4. When did Wosu come into that place? Has he done up to 8 years or more than 8 years? These are questions that should be answered. In accordance to the Constitution.
Position in 2000.
That's right.
2005.
2005. Okay. Are you getting my point? And so these are things.
When he left Abga.
That is what I'm saying. So these are things the people are questioning in court. The court should determine. The other one that struck me was this particular Article 23 sub 3 of this same political party. It says that any officer elected into the executive committee at any level is required to resign from office by submitting a 30-day notice. I don't know if you understand the point now.
I do.
Did Wosu, for instance, assuming he was, he had everything, did he give the 30 days notice to the Inec or to the party that he wants to resign? These are critical issues before the court. Now, you now go further. Because of time, I will look at it. Let me see if I can do, because I have to study the Constitution for me to be able to speak all of this. 17(1) sub 1. You understand? All elections to the national and state offices shall be done at an appropriate convention and congress of the party. An appropriate, not when David Mark.
Not at the neck meeting.
You understand? Not when David Mark and this were met in a Sheraton Hotel or Nikon. The party has to schedule. You understand the point? They must go. Did they do that? That is the thing. There's another particular, article in under Article 23 that says that for you to ever contest or for you to ever become acting or whatever the case may be in ADC as a political party, that if you are contesting for national, a position like chairman, secretary, national chairman, publicity secretary, national, that you must have spent at least 4 years in the political party. You understand the point now? But if you are contesting in the state, maybe state chairman, ward chairman, you must have spent at least 2 years for you to now be eligible to be selected or elected.
No, but Barrister, this is just a caretaker committee.
That is what I'm saying.
Substantive position.
Dude, you cannot even be. Because you are not able, all these particular areas are pointed out. For instance, now, has David Mark and Adegbosola spent up to even 2 days or 3 weeks in that party? He says
exactly my point. They are not assuming substantive position. They say it's a caretaker committee.
They say for any particular position, whether elected or selected. Yes, that is what the council is saying.
Okay.
So selection is what they do. They say these are our members. These people are the executive committee members. But they are saying, the old members in this suit are now saying that these people they selected, they've not even passed the constitutional mark. Okay, that says if you want to even select them to either caretaker or anything at all, they must have spent a minimum of XYZ
meeting conditions
years.
Precedent,
so they must have to meet all these things too. Okay. Is this? Are you aware? Because Wosu was even saying that yes, because Wosu knows that what he did was wrong. But he is not trying to buy time because he wants this. I don't know what they gave to him or promised him. If they win, you are going to become one thing. I don't know. So he's now working with them and saying, no, what we did there, we can even amend the constitution. Then people now challenge Wosu and I said, under our constitution, for you to even amend our constitution, you have to do what they call public hearing, stakeholders meeting, etc. as the case may be, before you can even talk about amending our constitution to accept what the contraption you have put in place.
Now, Barrister, two questions, because I think this is a lot for the people in the ADC. Now, why is it that state chairmen are revolting? They were also part of the next meeting that adopted those motions. And all of a sudden, they are saying, look, David Mark and co, they want to hijack this party.
Yes.
I go back to that question. Do you smell infiltration, or does it look like the problem of the David Mark-led executive is self-inflicted? looks like they didn't do their homework.
They didn't do their, see, if we say that they didn't do their homework well, or like you rightly said, infiltration. See, a man like El-Rufai can even act as an agent provocateur for a Tinubu. Because
after
they have
everything that Tinubu did to
him. And you see, an agent provocateur, what he does is to mix with criminals, for instance.
No, I understand all
you
of
understand?
That. My question is,
yes,
after the embarrassment,
he takes the bullet. He takes whatever as the case may be.
Okay.
He goes there, you know, do all those whatever he wants to do.
It look like his embarrassment at the National Assembly was all planned out.
I'm not saying that is what happened.
Yes,
I'm saying that he can even be to weaken the opposition. It does happen in politics. Even in the Congress in America, there are those when they find out a bill, a very strong bill that will affect their businesses. They send people there to go and destabilize that particular bill, filibusters, as case may be. So it's possible that an El-Rufai is working, or even Ralph Aregbesola. I read somewhere from a very close source of people that are close to Aregbesola and Tinubu, that these people are inseparable, sort of. But they come out and begin to talk. That are you sure that Aregbesola is not a mole or whatever as case may be? That is just trying to, hazard a guess. You know what he said finally? He now said that he wants to tell people that when election time comes, that if Tinubu wants Aregbesola to work for him and for him, that you'll be very surprised Aregbesola will work for Tinubu because they have a bond. You understand? So you look at these people, because a man that is disgruntled, that is the problem we are having. They didn't enter there based on real whatever philosophy and principle. You understand? Very few of them did that. But about 80% of those who are there are disgruntled. So if a disgruntled man, I now find out that, the man is disgruntled because I didn't do this. I now do what? What am I going to do now? I call the man by the side and I give him an offer in the night. You understand the point? You'll be very surprised. From being disgruntled, you understand the point now? You remove that this. You understand the point now? The man now become very grateful, as the case may be. So that is the problem we're having with the ADC.
All right, Barrister, we are running out of time. Let's close with this question. You are going to offer an advice now, free of charge. You're a lawyer. Is there anything that the ADC can do to walk back from all these entrapments that they put themselves into?
You see, the best thing, in my own opinion, political whatever, may solve this.
Okay.
That is the braggadocio nature that the David Mark group, Aregbesola, are doing, is that they should sit down and say, look, it's like us invading a man's village. Of course, the person, no matter how weak he is, you just come in there without negotiation, you occupy. He will resist. Why don't you see if you can bring back all the... And I believe that is what the 37 state chairmen are doing.
Okay.
Because they'll be asking, yes, we want this party to move. It will be very fine if, for instance, my party is the one producing the president in 2027. What about we, who are the state chairmen? Can we transmute now to governorship candidates, when that time comes?
Okay, so more like they are negotiating.
They have to negotiate. Because Nigeria politician, whatever, is transactional and prescriptive. I've used that word. So everybody has something he wants to gain. So let them go back and bring everybody along. If not everybody, at least 70% of people who are aggrieved. They should bring them to a round table, iron and fine-tune things, first of all, before you begin to make all these announcements. 2, if they don't want to do that reconciliation by way of political engineering or re-engineering, let them attack those particular matters in court. For instance, the 2 judgments that Dumebi has gone, and because of those 2 judgments, they said it should not be recalled as suspended. You understand? Let them go and either appeal or vacate, those. Because anything you do with those judgments, at the end of the day, once those judgments have not been appealed or vacated, it's going to affect you on the long run. So these are the 2 planks I look at for them to come back to sanity. If you go to court, you find out that you meet them, word for word, pleading for pleading. etc. as the case may be. You may defeat them. You get your final order. You can begin to operate as one united family. That is, I think, the best advice is that for me.
All right, now, thank you very much, Barrister Adams. We appreciate your presence.
Thank you.
This is where we have to end this conversation. It's been very interesting, very educative, and very exciting. Barrister Adams, I hope we can do this some other
Absolutely,
time.
yes,
Thanks
I'm always there. Thank you, God bless you.
Well, on behalf of the backroom staff, the technical director, Victor Igwe, the bus manager, Engineer Hassan, sound engineer, Jerry, and the Angels manager, Alex Scott, I am Chukuma Okoro. Up next is Issues with Jerry Apollo High. Stay with us and don't go away, and enjoy the rest of your evening.